Hello, everyone. Welcome to this, and thank you so much for tuning in. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and please check out our community tab and playlist section for more. So, today we will be continuing on with King Carl Gustaf life history, King Carl of Sweden life history. And previous sessions we did 1, 2, and 3. Those were called, number 1 was introduction to his life. Session number 2 was called early life. Session number 3 was called youth and education. So if you missed out on any of those, you can catch up in the playlist section, and also they are on the community/post tab. We also have Queen Silvia of Sweden's life history as well on the playlist section and on community tab. So today's session is called number 4, and it is called Rain. And source I'm reading from is Wikipedia. So let's go. Rain. Carl Gustaf ascended the throne upon the death of his grandfather, Gustav VI Adolf, on 15th of September 1973. 4 days later, he took the required regal assurance, Swedish, I'm not going to try to pronounce that, during an extraordinary meeting of the cabinet. Afterwards, he appeared before members of parliament, the diplomatic corps, and court in the Hall of State at the Royal Palace, where he was enthroned on the silver throne and gave a speech. Both the cabinet meeting and ceremony at the hall were broadcast live on television. Following the ceremonies, he appeared on the balcony to acknowledge gathered crowds. Carl Gustaf undertook his first state visit as king on 6th of October 1974, meeting with his godfather, King Olav V, in Norway. Source I'm reading from is Wikipedia, as we continue with King Carl Gustaf's life history. King Carl Gustaf of Sweden's life history. Okay, we're continuing now. As head of state, he is the foremost representative of Sweden and pays state visits abroad and receives those to Sweden. He opens the annual session of the Riksdag, hope I pronounced that right, chairs and special council held during a change of government. Sorry, there's so many words here I can't pronounce. Sorry, let's continue. Holds regular information councils with the Prime Minister and the Cabinet. Another word, sorry about that. Chairs the meetings of Advisory Council on Foreign Affairs. Receives letters of credence of foreign ambassadors to Sweden and signs those of Sweden to foreign nations, and annually presents the Nobel Prizes and the Polar Music Prize. As a figurehead, he also voluntarily abstains from voting in Swedish elections. Source I'm reading from is Wikipedia, as we continue Carl Gustaf of Sweden's life history. Carl Gustaf holds the highest ranks in the 3 branches of the Swedish armed forces. This is due to the fact that he was, as stipulated, by 14 of the 1809 instrument of government in effect at the time of his accession to the throne in 1973. The commander-in-chief, Swedish Högst Befal, oh my gosh, I can't pronounce these, I'm very sorry. Let's continue. Not to be confused with the military professional holding of the position of Supreme Commander, and therefore he was promoted to ex officio from his earlier ranks of Captain, Army and Air Force, and the Lieutenant Navy to General and Admiral. I think as I go forward, if there's words I can't pronounce, I'll just leave a blank silence. Under the provisions of the Instrument of Government of 1974, which became effective on 1st of January 1975, the King no longer holds his constitutionally mandated position, but he kept his ranks a la suite since he no longer has any military command authority except over His Majesty's military staff. On 26th of April 2018, Carl Gustaf became the longest reigning Swedish monarch when he surpassed Magnus Eriksson's reign of 44 years and 222 days. Carl Gustaf's Golden Jubilee was celebrated in 2023. The celebrations included tours of all Sweden's 21 countries, a Jubilee banquet at the Royal Palace, and a carriage procession through the streets of Stockholm, leading up to his Jubilee and beginning in 2018. Carl Gustaf and the way his monarchy has developed saw a rise in criticism being published. Source I'm reading from is Wikipedia. As we continue, support for the monarchy overall remains strong in the Swedish public. However, in large part due to the popularity of Crown Princess Victoria. Following the abdication of his cousin, Margrethe II of Denmark, Carl Gustaf became the longest-serving incumbent head of state in Europe and the longest reigning sovereign in the world. His reign saw Sweden end over 200 years of neutrality by joining NATO on 18th of March 2024. Source I'm reading from is Wikipedia, and this is session number 4, which we concentrated on King Carl XVI Gustaf of Sweden's life history. We also previously did session 1, 2, and 3. If you have missed out on any of those, you can catch up on the playlist section, and this also I've created a playlist onto the community tab, and those we started off with introduction, which was number 1. Number 2 was called early life. Number 3 was youth and education, and today's session is number 4, which is reign. And if you have missed any of those, you can catch up in the playlist section, as I did mention. Now I can see there's a little bit of comments in my comment section, so thank you so much for being here. Hi, Lisa. Hi. Oh my gosh, there's another name I can't pronounce. I'll call you Dobrid. Thank you so much, Lisa, for the compliment. And you said, what is your opinion on... Oh, that I can't answer that question because I'm not really sure what that question is about. But thank you so much for being here. The rest of the live stream is going to be a silent live where you can answer our poll question, and feel free to interact in the comment section. I will leave the live stream running, and please could you rewind it if you are just joining the live stream so that you can hear session number 4. And also, if you need to catch up on any of the things that you missed, they are on the community tab and in the playlist section. Thank you so much for being here.